Alright, last battle with Mega Feraligatr. See if we can end on a win. Ooh, they're rank 521, so it's probably be a tough one. Okay, and they're making me go first, which typically we do like. What do we got? Monkey Dory and Pidgey. Alrighty then. And they just start the Hoot Hoot, so this is not a bad first start. Let's do second monkey, and I'll do the Pokepad. I'll get a Totodile, so that way I'll be able to evolve it next turn. And I'm not going to put the Artisan down because that would allow them to get more basic Pokemon. Okay, and they must have just drawn into that because you don't want to start your Hoot Hoot. So that was a pretty lucky top deck for them. Yeah, see, they attach and immediately retreat it. Okay, and I get Crispin. So evolve to Croconaw. And I think what I may do... Yeah, so I'm going to Artisan. And I'm going to grab Badoo. I can use Crispin. Put the water in my hand. Attach the dark to Monkey. Retreat Monkey. Badoo in the active. Attached to Croconaw. And Itchy Pollen. So we can start the item lock. Because since they've got Hoot Hoot, we know they rely on Jewel Seeker. And this will help slow them down, keeping them from being able to search for a Noctowl if they don't already have it. Okay, they get the Fan Rotom. They can't use Fan Call anymore, but that could still be a secondary attacker. And Crispin is always great in any deck that has Teal Mask Ogerpon, because you put the grass in your hand, you attach the other one elsewhere, Teal Dance to yourself. Yeah, see, look at that. So they were able to attach one and still manually attach and retreat and take a knockout. Okay, and my hand is not great. Really would prefer to have INO or Lily's Determination instead of this boss's orders, but we've got what we've got. I do use the Artisan to grab the Relicanth and bring the Hoot Hoot up. I'm going to use Reverse Thrust, get my Croconaw out of harm's way, put Monkey back in the active. Of course, now they do have items. I have just one card in hand, so it's not the best position. Okay, there's the Noctowl. And Kangaskhan, okay. I'm still not entirely sure what that deck is over there. because Teal Mask Ogerpon and Kangaskhan can mean so many things, as well as Fanrotom, Hoot Hoot Noctowl, and Turo for Noctowl makes a lot of sense, because then you could potentially use it twice in a single turn. You play it down, you use Jewel Seeker, pick it up with Turo, and then if you've got another Hoot Hoot, play it down again. As long as you have a Tera in play, that's the important thing. Wow, and they're just Ultra Balling, they got rid of a boss and a Crispin. Okay, and that was Wellspring Mask Ogerpon, which is the most confusing art you could possibly have for that card, because it is very green, aside from Ogerpon itself. Okay, Artisan for another Totodile. And I wish I had 2 Night Stretchers, because then I could have been able to grab an energy and the Badoo. But for now, I'll settle for the energy. And I will go ahead and attach it. Retreat into Croconaw. And here I will Big Bite to keep it in the active, because I can't imagine they'll want to attack with this. It's going to need a combo of like Crispin and Energy Switch. More than likely they'll pull it out of the active in some way, either with a switching card or something like a Turo or Penny. Okay, Earthen Vessel for a water and a grass, so they can attach the water to Wellspring. They can Teal Dance the other one to that Ogerpon. Nest Ball. Another Hoot Hoot. Okay, yep, and so there's the switching card. And there's the energy switch. And there's Torrential Pump. And they actually go for both of my Gators. That's interesting. It's interesting and unfortunate, because that's their second and third prize. And I'm still not set up. I have just not gotten the cards that I need. This boss's orders has been in my hand the whole game. So I'm gonna boss. The Kangaskhan doesn't feel as good to put in the active, because that lets them run errand. But it is the hardest one to move. Noctowl only has a 1 retreat cost, as opposed to Kangaskhan has 3. And I put Pidgeotto in the active, just, because it has the free retreat and I can move it easily. But I don't want to leave it in the active, because if I'm going to get back into this game, I absolutely need to get Pidgeot. Oh, okay. And we've got the Iron Leaves here, which of course that Rapid Vernier is a crazy ability. When you play it from your hand onto your bench, you can choose to move it into the active immediately, and you can choose to move energy from all of your other Pokemon onto it. So it can come into play and attack all in one go. And that's another prize. Okay, Arven. What can I do with it? Okay, Night Stretcher, TM Evolution. Yeah, that's what I can do. Because I can Night Stretcher for the energy. Yeah. And then use TM Evolution to evolve the Totodile and the Pidgeotto. And hopefully I'm able to do something next turn, get back in the game. It is kind of crazy how little I've had to work with this whole game, but that happens. You know, you have 60 cards in the deck, you draw 1 per turn, you've got 6 in the prizes to start with that you don't actually have access to until you knock something out, which I have not been able to do. And so with the random assortment of things on the other side, it looks like we've just been facing a Tera box deck. Tera box, of course, meaning it is a toolbox deck that relies on Tera Pokemon. Yeah, with the Ditto and Lily's Clefairy, it's just further evidence. Toolbox meaning, you know, having tools in your toolbox. So they kind of have a lot of one copy cards, meaning that all these things are in there for different specific situations. And Ogerpon comes back. Yeah, that Iron Leaves having just a 1 retreat cost is nuts. You can move it so easily. Sparkling Crystal now on the Wellspring, so it's going to be able to do any of its attacks for 1 less energy. Boss's Orders, because Torrential Pump does 100 to the active, so that would not have knocked out Monkey Dory, but it does knock out Relicanth. And there goes the Gator, and so even though I got Pidgeot in play, not soon enough. So, not the way I would have wanted to end the series, but it happens. Good game. Okay, and that is the end of the series with Mega Feraligatr. So that one kind of started a little shaky. Well, I should say it started awesome with a win against Lucario, but then I lost against Dragapult, lost against Raging Bolt, then I came back and won against a group on it, but not entirely sure what they were playing. They only played the 1 Pokemon and then immediately conceded. So I imagine it was a Poison Dunk deck that just didn't have any of the pieces to make it work, and that's a risky run with that type of deck. Then I lost to a Dragapult, I lost to a Raging Bolt. Then I went on a huge win streak. I beat Mega Venusaur, I beat Hydrapple, I beat Charizard, and so those were pretty good. The Hydrapple one was meh, but Venusaur, Charizard, definitely check those out, because I think I just made all the right decisions there. Then I lost to a Goldango, which of course is going to be a tough one, and then a Tera box, which that one was interesting, but they just have so many tools in their toolbox that they can be really hard to overcome. Somehow, yet again, 60% win rate, so each deck that I've played in this season have been 60%, so that means that my overall played win rate has been 60%. This one was fun. I liked Mega Feraligatr, but it definitely relies on Pidgeot, and I don't know how the deck is going to function once Pidgeot rotates. So try it now while you can, and then, you know, new deck coming soon. So we'll see what else we can fit in before rotation. Thanks for watching. We'll see you in the next one.